This is Bays from Saving Grace Homeschool, and this will be another math lecture. This one will be on order of operations. Okay, so this slide is for the parents or the educators. It's just a guidance. So you've got three icons on the left, which the first one represents diving, the second one deeper, and then the third one deepest. So I will just read through this to explain this to you. Each activity sheet is split into three sections: diving deeper and deepest, which are represented by the following icons, which I just referred to. These carefully designed activities take your children through a learning journey, initially ensuring they are fluent with the key concept being taught, then applying this to a range of reasoning and problem-solving activities. These sheets might not necessarily be used in a linear way. Some children might begin at the deepest section, and in fact, others may dive straight into the deepest section if they have already mastered the skill and are applying this to show their depth of understanding. Okay, so each slide, or all the relevant slides, will have an icon describing the content of the slide. If you are doing this lesson for the first time, you would just go from diving to deeper to deepest. But if you already have done this content and you just want to practice the difficult questions at the end, and you already know what this is about, then you can directly go to deeper or even deepest. Okay. So the aim of this lesson is for you to use their knowledge of the order of operations to carry out calculations involving the four operations. So we want to be able to calculate using the order of operations. Okay, so what does that mean? So remember to use BODMAS or BIDMAS to help you remember the order of operations. So this is an abbreviation and it stands for the following. BODMAS on the left is brackets, orders, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. And then on the right-hand side, the one which it is kind of the same. The only thing that's different is orders becomes indices. I think that's how you pronounce it. Sorry if that's pronounced incorrectly. So they're actually the same thing. It's just two different words for the same concept. So you can choose whichever suits you better, whichever one you like more. Most people prefer BODMAS, the one on the left, but if you like the one on the right, that is your yeah. You can choose whatever you want. So what does this mean? There's a list of brackets, orders, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. What does this mean? Okay, so this is actually a list that's a specific order that you will perform calculations with. So just a general example, if you have an equation and you've got brackets and you've got some orders and division and addition in this equation, you will start with the brackets, then you will move to the orders, and so forth and so forth. You will go down the list and complete every step or item in the list before moving on to the next one. And that is the order that you will calculate equations or calculations that you will do this in. Okay, so on the left, we've got an example. Add one pair of missing brackets to each of these calculations to make them correct. So remember, brackets is the first thing to be calculated in an equation. So the first one, we've got 7 times 6 plus 14. So if we put brackets around the 7 times 6, we get 42 plus 14, which gives us 46, 56, which is correct. But let's see if we move the brackets and we say, let's put the brackets around the 6 and the 14, not instead of the 7 and the 6, then we've got 6 plus 14 inside of the brackets, which gives us 20. And then if we times that by 7, we get 140, which is not 56. So you can see that brackets, they make a huge difference. So the place that they're located at, because that decides which calculation will be done first. So in this case, it would be around the 7 and the 6. And in the second example, we've got 58 minus 16 plus 17. Okay, so does the brackets come around the 58 and the 16, or the 16 and the 17? If you've got the answer, just think about it for a bit. You can pause the video if you'd like. Okay, so let's start. If we put the brackets around the 58 and the 16, we get 42 plus 17. And that gives us 59, which is not 25. Now let's see if we put the brackets around the 16 and the 17. Okay, so 16 plus 17 gives us 33. And if we take 58 minus 33, we get 25. So we know that we have to put the bracket around the 16 and the 17, excluding the subtraction operation. Remember that. Okay. So here we can see exactly what they did. The brackets come around the 7 and the 6, and then the second one, they come around the 16 and the 17. Okay. Now they're saying add 2 pairs. Sorry, screaming in your ears. Add 2 pairs of missing brackets to each of these calculations to make them correct. So now we've got to add 2 pairs of brackets. Okay, so the first one, we've got 6 times 9 minus 3 equals to 6 plus 5 times 6. And okay, and then the second example, 8 times 8 minus 2 equals to 6 plus 7 times 8. So I want you to go write these two down and try them. Try to figure out, because we've done an example on the previous slide. Try to figure out if you can. You're allowed to put 2 pairs of missing brackets. Okay, and see if you can find the same answers on the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the equations. And when you've done that, you can resume the video and we can discuss the answers. So I will reveal the answers in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the first one, I hope you have done this correctly. As you can see, if we put the brackets around the 9 and the 3 on the left-hand side of the equation, we get 9 minus 3, which is 6, and 6 times 6 gives us 36. Okay, and then on the right-hand side, if we put the brackets around the 5 and the 6, we get 30, and 6 plus 30 gives us 36. So then we've got 36 equals to 36, which is exactly what we want. And then below that, we've got 8 times 8 minus 2 equals to 6 plus 7 times 8. And we can see that if we put the bracket around the 8 and the 8, we get 64 minus 2, which is 62. And then on the right-hand side, 7 times 8 is 56, plus 6 is 62. Okay. Now look at, because now we're going a bit deeper. Look carefully at his calculation and describe the error that has been made with the order of operations. So what did this person do wrong to get the answer of 7? Why is the answer of 7 wrong? Okay, because what they did, let's see how they got 7. They said 24 plus 18. Okay, so if we add those two, we get 32 divided by, oh no, not 32, sorry. 42, yeah, sorry, 42. And then when we divide that by 6, we get 7. So that's how they got 7. They said 24 plus 18 divided by 6. But in the bottommost abbreviation, we know that B is brackets, O is order, D is division. So D, division, is the third step. So D comes before addition. Addition is only the BODMA addition is only the 5th step. So we have to do the 18 divided by 6 before we do the 24 plus 18. So we're going to do 18 divided by 6 in brackets. And then we're going to then we're going to add the 24 to the answer of that, which would be 3, and we would get 27. So here's the textbook answer. The answer has been worked out by moving from left to right, ignoring BODMAS or BIDMAS. The correct answer is 27, as we would need to carry out the division first, followed by the addition. Okay. There is a special offer at a local stationery shop. A notebook is normally €8, but if you buy more than 8 notebooks, you will get €3 off the price of each one. Harry decides to buy 9 notebooks. How much will the notebooks cost Harry at the special offer price? So which calculation will allow Harry to work out how much his notebooks will cost? So as you can see, if you move the brackets, you get 2 different answers. So let's just quickly read through the word problem again, just making sure that we understand what they're asking. So there's a special offer at a bookshop, stationery shop. A notebook is normally €8, but if you buy more than 8 notebooks, you'll get €3 off the price of each one. So all the notebooks previous to that becomes €3 cheaper. Harry decides to buy 9, which is more than 8. So how much will the notebooks cost Harry at the special offer price? So he's buying 9 notebooks at the price of €8 minus 3. So which one is the first example or the second example the correct representation of the word problem? Because they have 2 different answers. Okay. So here's the answer. For every notebook that Harry buys, priced at €8, a €3 discount is applied. He buys 9 notebooks, so there needs to be 9 lots of 8 minus 3. Okay, so you understand that, I hope. If the first calculation were used, he would find 9 lots of €8, which is the full price of the notebook, followed by taking away just 1 lot of €3. This would mean that Harry only has his €3 discount on 1 notebook rather than all 9 notebooks. So let's just look at the 2 blocks again. So the first one is so he's buying 9 notebooks for the price of €8. But in the first block, the first white block, you can see that they only subtract 3 once. It's only subtracted once. And so you only get a €3 discount, but you're supposed to get a €3 discount on every notebook that you buy if you buy more than 8 notebooks. So that is what the second one is correct, where they subtract the 3 from the 8, because the full price for the books now only become €5, and then you want 9 books for the price of €5 each. Okay, so I hope you understood that. Okay, so now we're going to the deepest level. Okay, so this is where your understanding of the concept of BODMAS and the order of operations is thoroughly tested. Okay, so set 1 is 2, 3, and 4. Set 2, 5, 6, and 7, and set 3 is 8, 9, and 10. Use a number from each of the sets above to complete the number calculations below. So we've got 3 different calculations. So we've got something times something inside of brackets, and then we add something from the third set to that answer, and then we have to get 3 different answers. So I want you to try this on your own, and then I will reveal the answers to you and then explain them to you as well. Okay, so if you don't understand, okay, so just you have to plug in a value from set 1 into the first box, then you've got to plug in a value from set 2 into the second box. You have to times these 2 together because they're in a bracket, so that's the first thing you do. And then you add that to a number of any numbers of the set of 3 in the set 3, and then they have to give you 20 in the first example, of course. The second one has to give you 27. So you have to match specific numbers in the specific orders to get the answers. Okay. So the first one is 2 times 5 plus 10. So 2 comes from set 1, 5 comes from set 2, and then 10 from set 3. And you can see that if you times 2 by 5, you get 10. And if you add 10, you get 20. So let's try number 2 together. Okay, so we need 27. Okay, so we can actually, if you want to be smart about this, you can start by subtracting 8 or 9 from 27. So you can see that you're going to get either 19 or 18. And then we have to times 2 of the numbers in set 1 and set 2 together to get 19 or 18. Okay, and how are we going to do that? We can see that 6 times 3 is actually going to give us 18. So then we know that we can use 3 in the first block, 6 in the second block, and, oh, sorry, I don't know why they're doing that. Oh, there's more than one option, of course. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 8 also gives you 20. Sorry, I forgot about the second answer. Okay, so in the example we just did, we've got 3 times 6 plus 9. Okay, and then the last one, we've got 4 times 5 plus 10, because 4 times 5 is 20, plus 10 gives us 30. Okay, and there's also a second answer with this one, so make sure you get all the answers, not like me, who missed one. 3 times 7 gives us 21, and then if you add 9, you get 30 again. Okay, so that's just to make sure that you understand what we just did. Can you make an even number? Can you make an even number greater than 30? So you can try that as a challenge and try to see if you can make an even number greater than 30 with these 3 sets. But the answer has to be even though. Okay. The possible answers might include, if you try this, you can see if you got one of these 3 answers. 4 times 6 plus 8 gives us 32. We've got 4 times 7 plus 10, which gives us 38, which is the biggest one. And then 4 times 7 plus 8 gives us 36. So all of those are bigger than 30, greater than 30, and they're all even. Okay. I think that is it. Thank you, boys and girls, for listening to me. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I hope you understand. If you don't, you can just go back and look at the slides again and try to see if you can catch something that you might have missed. Okay, thank you, and I will see you again in another lesson. Have a nice day.